everyone, I'm killed, and these are my two collaborators, the creators of the game Sheeps, the video game that's out on Steam now. It's only like $5 ish, and you can play it, and it's a fun game where you kill sheep and you sacrifice them, and a tree tells you poems, and there's fun characters. These two made it, and I was lucky enough to be the the composer for the score of the game. And I guess I'm just here to talk about the game with y'all and get, I guess, some of y'all's background. I know Matthew Schulze very well as a personal friend. Y'all can go ahead and say hi. Your name,
I'm Matthew.
Hi.
Matthew Schulze. Close
I'm
personal friend.
AJ.
I've killed.
Yep.
Dr. K.
So this guy on the bottom, yeah, Matthew Schulze. I know him. He's a good friend of mine from high school. I mean, yeah, y'all can tell the story. Matthew, you know, tell the story of like
How we met?
yeah, I mean, you're the connecting between me and AJ, so you can.
Yeah.
You want me to
kind of-
tell the story about sheeps or about just how we met, how we all met? It's the whole
I'm-
story of how
yeah.
we got this.
Yeah, like just like a rundown, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. I guess it all started when you came up and at lunch, outside lunch. Our school had outside lunch. I wasn't even sitting there, but you just kind of introduced yourself, like, "Hey, I'm Dr. K."
I did.
Just started sitting with my friends. Then we kind of got off to a tumultuous start. But then we became super close friends. We call a lot. AJ, I met AJ at AJ first year college. Well, my friend was on like a Tinder date, or like a Tinder meetup. AJ was like around. But for Sheeps, I don't know. I started writing poetry, and then AJ, I think, had the idea for the game. Came up to me, wanted to do it, do something together. That was like 3 years ago. We've just been working on it ever since.
It's kind of crazy to think it was 3 years ago that it started.
I think it was 2. It was like May of 2024. So it's
Okay.
over 2.
Okay.
Wow. So it was your idea, AJ. You proposed it.
I feel like to make the game together was like our idea, but I feel like the doing something with the poetry in the game might have been my idea, but like what the like.
Hello?
Hey.
Hi.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
Okay.
No problem.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know that guy. I feel like I know all his roommates. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I think, you know, because I just been just like, I mean, you know this. I've just been showing all my friends my poetry whenever I write them.
Yeah.
And so I'd been doing that enough. I think AJ wanted to make a game together, and he sort of had the idea for. I don't know what. Yeah, he had the idea. I think he had the idea for the sheep and the feeding them into the tree, or he had the idea for the tree at least. I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know what else. And then basically from then on, we just, you know, we weren't together. On the big picture, him doing the coding and me doing the writing, and him also doing the art for it.
Yeah. I'm okay. I'm curious to get background from AJ because I don't really personally know AJ all that well. So it's kind of this is like
met in person.
This is really yeah. It was actually my first time like seeing your face. I feel like I didn't really have a solid idea what you look like. I mean, I think I saw a picture of you or something, but
That's funny.
yeah, this is my first time seeing your face talk to me. So really the kind of formal interview is gonna be a lot with you because I genuinely don't know you all that well. I wanted to get your rundown, your like background on game design, on the like I mean, yeah, you did the art for this game. You did like all of the like kind of 3D like rendering stuff. Like I'm curious what your background is, your interests, your like inspirations, things like that. Like what brought you here? What to this side of it?
Yeah. I started doing like game development in general, like around when COVID started. So that was like the start of 2020. And then that was, man, I mainly did like game jams. So like little game
Yeah.
making competitions just to like make a bunch of small projects, and I probably did like 15 or 20 of those. And Sheeps was the first time I'd worked on anything game related for more than like a month, I would say. So it
Wow.
was really it was a step up to go from like not having done a long-term project to something that was like took a couple years to make and was like the first fully published game on Steam that I had.
Yeah, do you
Uh,
have games out like on like indie like browsers, like websites and stuff?
HIO.
It that's what I was trying to think of
it's
that, yeah.
yeah. I used a different like moniker then for like my other like tiny titles, but none of them were ever like paid or anything. They were mainly for game jams and stuff.
Gotcha. Speaking of the moniker, Cardboard Animal, that's the name
Yes.
of this like with like studio, this production, it's the name of this thing.
Yeah, that I would
Is
say
that you?
online
Is that both of
artist.
y'all? Is this a collaborative, or is this like what you're doing now, like for the
I would
future?
say Cardboard Animal is me, and that's the
Okay.
name that I'm gonna try to like go under. It
Gotcha.
started because I like did a series of animals on cardboard. I have like right here. This one's like a seagull, like a
Ooh.
seagull, and it's like
Yeah.
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 on cardboard. And I've done I think 35,
Wow.
40 of those animals on cardboard. So it was a whole series, and then like the name came from that. And I like the name because like cardboard's like an unassuming material and animals are cool.
Yeah.
And like
What was I thinking? Matthew told me your idea was the tree, the sheeps, the like the concept for the like yeah, the material reality of this game, like what's like the the text of it is kind of like written by you, like the concept of the killing the sheep, sacrificing them. Is that was that your you brought that?
I remember the conversation that we had.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of together because we were debating a few different locations, and I feel like
Mm.
originally the idea for the location was going to be like kind of Schultz, your family has like a someone in your family has a
Right.
ranch, and it
We were
was
gonna
kind
be
of like
doing.
that plains area,
Yeah.
like rural Texas, and then I think that blended into rural Iowa, where I grew up in
I,
as well.
yeah. I remember. I think the first initial idea that I had, that I think I really wanted to happen, that eventually you were just like, oh, I don't, yeah, was like the backside of a strip mall. Like,
Like with all the dumpsters and like where
yeah.
there's like parking
I don't even
spaces,
know
but there's
what.
like
I don't know what. I guess the concept for the game must have. It must. I guess I'm imagining a world where you had the concept for the game and then we made it, but I guess that's not how it went. I think we must have.
I think
We definitely brainstormed.
the brainstorming of like how the poetry relates to the game and how like there's like that kind of loop of the tree and the sheep, I feel like was all very fluid, but it like kind of came together like
Right.
out of that conversation.
Mm.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, because I think initially, remember I remember taking pictures of the farm, and we still use that sort of as a basis for what the
Yeah, I
movie
think
would be.
the pond was something that like I had a
And the
pond at my
grasses.
house and then the grasses. And the original the world that is in the final game is like not the first world of sheeps. There was a whole nother like whole
Yeah, the
whole
initial
world, and
version of
I
Sheep's was very different. It was like the world was like a lot less detailed, um, and there was a lot more poems. Like it was way more like kind of not sandboxy because you can't do anything other than reading the poems, but it was just way more bare bones, way way less of like a traditional game experience, like almost more. I mean that probably. I mean at that point it's probably closer to just like the traditional experience of reading a book of poems than
Mm.
and like hear it playing through any sort of like
Mhm.
narrative.
Yeah, y'all have
Mhm.
added a lot of things to make it more gamey. The
Yeah.
library with
As
the
all-
Zen
yeah.
garden in it.
Mhm.
Simply the ability to save, to come back, to make progress, to unlock characters. You make visible progress in this game. You collect things. Where like at what's the timeline and what's the story behind all of these little Easter eggs and elements? The idea to integrate them. Where did that pop out of? Other than generally the desire to make it more game like. Are there specific motivations with the mysterious orbs, the rings, to create certain feelings?
Well, I'll say I'll talk about overall first, and then I'll let AJ
Yeah.
speak. But I think overall we had like this, like the first version is what we sort of intended on making, was just like the sort of interactive poetry experience, and then I think we both liked it so much and thought, you know, we could if we made it more game like we could have an opportunity to make something really good if we just started putting in work on the details. So then like my big contribution to like phase 2 would be the characters,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mhm.
AJ made like all the like really like the environments, really a complete overhaul, and other orbs and all of that.
Yeah, I agree that the characters were kind of the catalyst that took it from just being like a collection of poems to like more of a game
Yeah.
with characters. And if you're going to have characters and have dialogue and exploration there, I think the addition of like the library and the addition of like the kind of collectathon elements where there's little quests and things to pick up and like the orbs and the rings and the power up kind of system
Yeah.
was to give players incentives to explore the world.
Mm-hmm.
And there were like different versions of those concepts throughout, but I think that was the attempt, is that all of the things around the poems and the characters are there to incentivize you to explore the world, to get more out of the poems and the characters.
Interesting. Yeah. I get that. I something popped in my head because y'all were talking about the world earlier. Have either of y'all played the game Slime Rancher? Or heard of it?
I
Watched,
played
seen
maybe
anything?
like 15 minutes or something like.
As I was playing it,
I
I realized the world and the way you interact with it, the way you unlock areas with more of these, the sheep, and the kind of the way that you're like, you go in through these little catacombs and climb up on things, really reminds me of the world from Slime Rancher. And I was just wondering if there was
that's
any
a
influence
high
there.
compliment.
Yeah.
I haven't played it, but I did buy it for my brother. My brother and I, we like buy each other a game for Christmas
Mm.
every year. So I bought him Slime Rancher. So I watched him play like a good bit of it.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, definitely like I wanted I tried to do that pretty heavily, where there's things that are in all areas of the game or the starting area of the game, and you can't access them, or you have no idea what they mean, or you can't like interact with them, but eventually you know, just by virtue of like there's a thing there, that you can interact with them, or that there will be a explanation in the future. So I think a lot of great games do that, and I tried to emulate that with Sheeps,
Yeah.
where you see a closet and you have no idea why there's a random closet in the middle of a field,
Yeah.
and then eventually you'll figure out why there is.
I'll say I've got, I think, maybe 2 hours in this game so far. I still don't know what the closet is. I'm still playing
Yeah.
it. I'm still gonna get there.
Yeah, it'll be deeper still. I mean, probably 4 hours.
It's fun how, I don't know. I thought I mean, I had my mental image because y'all were telling me about the game, how much, what was going on in it, what was going on. I'm still playing it and it feels different than I thought. There's so many poems that I hadn't seen. There's so many details that I didn't know the full breadth of. I thought the what was it, the Mars story scripture on the rock and that
Mhm.
quiz was such
Yeah.
a fun element. I really liked that. I nailed that quiz first time. I got a good memory.
That's great. That's great.
And with the characters now, I'm thinking about the voice acting. Matthew, you did all the voice. I mean, you were the tree reading the poems that you were every character, just putting on a voice for everyone. I think
Yeah.
you're a good voice actor. The other day when we were talking about it, you kind of you didn't you downplayed your voice acting ability, but you do bring a lot of just like character and passion to it.
Yeah,
I was
I can't really do different voices, but I can do different vibe, different feeling, just like cadences, I guess.
yeah
I think you do a great job.
I
I think you're still downplaying it. I think
yeah
there's like a lot of like
Thank you.
you fully committed to the performance on
yeah
like
it goes a long
on every
way.
character, and
And
that's half the battle.
I was wondering, AJ, what I mean, is there any reason you didn't choose to do any voices, or did y'all ever consider getting other people to do voices just to expand the sound of him?
Well, there are a few poems that have like
There are.
multiple people in them.
See,
In that case, there's a few people that are featured on no more than one poem.
yeah,
If I
I guess that is
or
a
one character.
limit of my knowledge, not having 100% of the
Yeah,
game.
there's one poem and one character. One poem with a second voice actor, and one character that's actually three characters with each their own voice actor. Just because, in order to get my voice in there, playing both characters, I guess I could have done it, but to get the kind of like snappiness, I wanted to do it. But I think basically the reason there was, I especially the poems, I really like, because that's what I started with. I really didn't want anyone else to voice them.
Yeah.
I guess I was really like,
sense.
I don't know if the word's insecure about, but I just feel like I felt like the reason that they were voiced in the first place is just because I felt like me voicing them, like any sort of shortcomings they had, like writing wise, like on the paper, I could sort of like fix just by having like my sort of like cadence, and I felt like I could really like bring out meaning and maybe like irony that you wouldn't like see if you were just reading it. So then I was really sort of like possessive of that. Which is, maybe another reason I don't have any poems published anywhere, other than the game. It's because I really I don't know. They're very, so most of them are just they're very common everyday speed poems. So then I think it just extended to the characters where I was just in that mode, and I was like, I don't I just know how I want them to sound like.
Yeah. You have told me personally before your poems that you believe they're like best received read by you to people.
Yeah.
That's like your intent for delivering them.
That's I stand by that.
So the game becomes like a good just medium for your poems to stand as an oral experience.
Yeah, I mean that's another, and then you're also not allowed, I mean, especially, I mean, eventually we did a patch last week, or an update, which added the ability to walk around during poems, but the version 1.0, you can't walk around during poems, can't do anything except stare at the text and maybe scroll while I'm, talking, can't turn my voice off, and nothing.
Yeah.
I think I was very, I guess just sort of like insecure about the player sort of like understanding what I'm getting at unless I'm just like holding them by the collar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was definitely a debate. Like, I feel like we had talked about that, balancing how much the player can like. I mean, because at the end of the day, my original opinion was like, if you don't want to listen to the poems are the game, and it's not like a game to be binged or anything like that. So if you're tired of reading the poem or tired of listening to the dialogue, you can come back to the game at a later time.
Yeah.
It's not like trying to be something that you have to do or anything like that. But I think just as far as letting the player move around during reading the poems. It's more like, taking control away
Like a
from the
fidget
player in a
toy,
game,
you know?
like a fidget toy. Exactly. I think that's the best way to put it. Like, you can't, just moving around in the world is like fun to do, and getting people to like be able to look at the environments more, explore more things, to look for collectibles while you're reading the poems, I don't think takes away from them.
Absolutely. I got the feeling, and this is, I guess, just like a game design thing, but it is fun to just move around. It's fun to run around that game. You move naturally quite fast, or it feels like you're just kind of like, feels like you're just running over these hills and like jumping over things. It feels so much like being a kid running around this like just big area, just like frolicking. So it is fun to do. Like even between the poems, I might just go run around the area and like kind
Yeah.
of ramp off
We
of
got a
things.
movement speed slider, right?
Yeah, there's a whole setting that's
Mm,
literally movement speed that you
yeah,
can
Just adjust your
adjust.
stuff.
it is
So if it's
fun.
if it's too fast, then slow it down. It's okay.
Yeah,
If you
and
slow speed it up.
to give another question to AJ or maybe even Matthew, depending on how much this process was integrated. I'm in my mind, I'm imagining AJ, you were a lot more on the technical side. Were there any, uh, I don't know all the jargon or anything. You can probably get us there, but like technical setbacks, like questions, accommodations regarding the creation of this game that ended up becoming like massive pillars of its like the problem solving to get this game created.
Yeah, I feel like yes, constantly and at basically every step. And
Yeah,
that's just how like game development goes. I
sure.
think every time like the expansion of the definition of what we wanted sheeps to be changed, then it would involve like a technical rewrite of like a lot of code. I think notably, like a good example would be the dialogue system, where we weren't originally, it was just going to be text, and then it was going to be just yes and no options, and then it could be like any options but only two options, and then it expanded to like up to five options, and then we wanted stuff with eight options in there. So now I think it's like you can have up to nine options of text to be selected from, and like the whole thing like it has just grown quite a bit in complexity, and every time you add a layer onto that, you have to kind of rewrite some of the code.
Yeah.
um but I feel like I learned a whole lot about game development through making this.
Yeah, and you said this was your like arguably your very first long-term project that you've like.
Yeah, as far as a game goes,
Yeah.
completely. My very first long-term project. So there's a lot that I had made that I would make differently now, knowing what I know.
Mm.
And
And
why I'm excited that it's done, and I don't have to deal with the consequences of things that I did a year and a half ago anymore.
yeah, yeah, that's fun. All right. I'm Matt. I had a dead. I have a couple questions just in case I got to here where I was at a. Where are there? I mean, are there any general things that y'all want to say that we haven't touched on? Anything y'all were eager to talk about?
I was eager to talk about the music, and
Oh,
I wanted to say that my mom had very high praises. She she put the CD soundtrack into the kitchen radio, and she said it was really great, and she
wow.
really liked
I
the
appreciate
soundtrack.
it. I guess I forgot. I'm a part of this too. Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean, you're a huge part. I would say it's not to be understated, however much we have or haven't talked about this, how the soundtrack, and especially having like that much music early on, because we got the first like set of however many, seven or eight tracks, like before, I mean, before development was halfway through. Like I think before the BFA show, so that would have been maybe around, I don't know, what was that? Like, I don't know when you sent us the first. If it started in May, I feel like you sent us the first set of tracks by like September. almost,
I'm
or
not very
something
good
like
with
that.
the timeline stuff, but
Yeah,
yeah.
but either way, having all of the sound in the game, I think helped set the vibe that the world is a place to relax in and
Mm,
some place to like kind of get lost in,
yeah.
like ethereal, ephemeral, cozy vibes, if you will. So I think that definitely reinformed kind of the direction of the game and solidified it in going in that direction where I wanted to, when I remade the world a year into development, I wanted it to be like more of a relaxing place that would like go along with like the soundtrack and with the poems.
Well, hey, yeah. You did such a good job integrating it. Um, and even this is like a very specific thing, but I just felt like the trailer for it, I was feeling like so on that kind of main theme that I made for the trailer, but then the way that you integrated it and you paced it along to it was so great. You, like all the way up until like even when you reveal the logo with the way
Yeah.
that it swells into
Hmm.
the music is so perfect, and it made me so hyped to play it. I was like, that's like you did a good job with that trailer. It did the
Thank
exact
you.
thing it was
Thank
supposed to
you.
do.
Yeah, I felt like especially that swell at the end is probably my favorite part of the trailer, where it's like the music just really comes to a climax, and then I
Yeah.
think like the just fade in of the logo. It's like
Yeah.
I'm all self-important. I'm sheep, so I have a big logo in the
Yeah, yeah.
game. It's good.
And that main theme, just I guess to talk my own part of this, the way I ran that was I went through basically it was like an 8 or 9 tracks that I felt were like the most like themey ones, and I took the main motif out of each of them
Mm-hmm.
and just baked them all into that main theme. They're really all there, if you listen to the details. I'm gonna release a volume. I'm gonna do sheep music for Sheep's Volume 2, and it's just gonna be probably fewer songs, all the ones that are new, including the main theme, the library songs. The library, the library is so cool, and it ended up matching a lot with what I did with the music. Maybe it's not obvious, but I was really inspired by like Japanese music or like Japanese video game music specifically, and then it ended up that aesthetically that played really well into what you had already designed. I guess because of the Zen garden and stuff, that was kind of in my mind.
I
But
I would say the library music matches the library very well, where it's more upbeat, it's more like playful,
mhm.
and it's more like maybe whimsical that you're
Yeah,
like transported to this odd place that if you were playing the game blind would have no real reason to be there
yeah,
to expect to be there. And then there's all these like just guys walking around with like weird arms and talking about books and stuff. And yeah, I think the library tracks are some of my favorite tracks, and I would say I got them from you pretty late in development,
yeah,
where I had had the like original kind of soundtrack, the original songs for almost a year and a half, I would say, before I got the last tracks from the library, and that was
yeah.
great. Recontextualized the library and helped like give a new push
Yeah,
to like that
speaking of the
area.
library, just to roughly explain, it's I haven't gotten there in the base game yet, but it's I saw I think we sat in Discord and you explored it and showed me
Mhm.
around it. It's it's got the Zen garden, which I guess I just want to talk about that. It's a very like random aspect of this game, but it feels it. I'm excited to get there, and I love Zen gardens. I love sandbox elements in games. That's actually my favorite like genre of game is like sandbox, like creative. Get like being able to add stuff to and it has like save states, right? You can like save your
Yeah. Oh
arrangement.
yeah. It saves. It saves.
It's a really
There was going to originally be more mechanics tied into the Zen Garden, that like all of the orb stuff and power up stuff was originally going to be like managed through the Zen Garden, and then I kind of pivoted from there. But I mean, I had already spent like a
Yeah.
month making it,
Was the
so I
Zen
kept
Garden
it
your
in game.
idea to implement? And where did that come from?
I guess I wanted I like when games just have a random thing that's like I don't know, this is different. This is not what the like main game is. This doesn't have much bearing on the rest of it. But obviously like someone put time into doing this, so I'm going to like spend a couple minutes customizing this thing that like I don't like doesn't really matter, but it's there and it's fun, so I might as well. And
Yeah.
that's where the Zen Garden came from. Like another reason to incentivize the player to like read more poems is like it ties into like what
Mm-hmm.
decorations you can buy for the Zen Garden.
Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, where you go underground and you have like your little base. It's a
Yeah,
Mm.
really
secret
neat
bases.
thing.
Yeah.
But you can
Well,
show it off. You can take a screenshot of it, show it to your friends or whatever.
it reminds me of when I was a kid, I played Wizard 101. And in
Mm.
that game, like a lot of, I guess, MMOs have this kind of feature, like a home. I never got there personally because I didn't. It cost a subscription to play the full version and stuff. I wasn't doing all that, but um, I loved people in like Club Penguin. People had their homes and like all those kind of games where you have like your own little home space, and then that was really fun. And
Oh,
then like having a bunch of unlockable
Oh,
things.
Webkins. I don't know. You can't
Mm.
even see that, can you? I got a Webkins code for like a frog or something here.
better
Oh.
redeem it before this goes online.
Oh,
It definitely
these
didn't.
are long expired. The
Oh,
Oh,
Webkins is the shell of its former self.
yeah.
They axed my account.
I was
I tried
never
to get
on
it back.
Webkins.
was it true or was it just a rumor that you webskins can die?
Well, they can die if they delete your account with all your
Well, I
Webkins
thought
on it.
like if you did like neglected them for so long they would die.
I think that's like Neopets and also Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi.
That's crazy. I guess
You
it's
gotta
not that
teach
crazy.
kids somehow.
Yeah, I
Been
mean that's how
playing
you
Zoo
teach kids
Tycoon all
responsibility.
weekend. I know Zoo
Virtual pet.
Tycoon.
I know Zoo Tycoon.
Been playing Zoo Tycoon 2 all weekend. Making a killer zoo. There's that.
That's
That's
awesome.
good. That's good.
Um, okay, let's talk about the reception. What there is. There's 5 reviews on Steam. I'm assuming y'all have
Reviews.
gotten plenty of verbal feedback from people you know. What's y'all's
Mhm.
reaction to it? What is the feeling? What's the vibe you're getting? What's surprising you about the reception? What has that making you feel?
I'm interested in the because I don't know if anyone that I like know other than really you, Anson, has played it. Yeah, but I'm interested to see what your friends are because for me, I feel like I feel like a fucking weirdo with these poems, some of them, and I mean that guy said I had weird kinks on that review. I'm interested to hear how people talk to you about the game in person. I know your roommates have played some
Yeah,
of it.
roommates and then friend Alex has played it. I feel like
Okay, yeah.
reception overall has been good. Like probably better than I thought. Where I made the whole world and I made all of the mechanics of the game. So I was worried that it was going to be like way buggier than I thought or that people were going to like not have any fun with it. But it seems like people are enjoying the poems and enjoying like interacting with the different mechanics of the game and are excited to like see what the different things do and that it's like been set up in a way that they want to keep playing the game. So I would say overall, I'm happy with the reception from the people I talked to about.
That's awesome. There was I saw the Instagram post and y'all talked to me a little bit about the release party. Did that happen or
Yeah, that happened.
That happened.
We had
Yeah.
like it was
That
like a
happened.
poetry reading. It was like so. There's this thing at like this place called the Frat House, and it's kind of a local punk music venue, mostly punk music, emo and punk. But then and I know that people one of them who was AJ's old roommate. and I know the people who live there now. And one of them had been organizing poetry nights, which I read at one this couple times this year. So it's sort of like a joint poetry night, um, sheep's launch party, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And we basically, I mean, I read some poems from the game. And then, I mean, before that, other people read their own poems.
Mm-hmm.
And then we played the trailer. We set the game up for people to play. Then we sold some physical copies of the game. Which I got to bring you one.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited.
I got to bring a bunch, actually.
All right. Well, fun stuff.
It went well. The reception was good.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, it's like I'd say two things. One, you tell something about the concept of the game. And I don't think that really, even if you, I mean, it's like, even though it's like a cool concept, like a poetry collection in the form of a video game, it doesn't really mean anything to people, really. Because it could be, I think most people's first assumption, I mean, like people that I know, it's probably just like, this is just like shit, or I mean, like not even like not like, and I'm saying, they haven't seen the trailer.
Yeah. Just when you explain it to them verbally.
Yeah, and it's like, it's an interesting idea, but they're probably not expecting, I guess, just like the level of, I guess, just like the total time we put in. I think that's maybe something that's what is probably most undersold about the game. Is just like total time, amount of care.
The effort
for every element. Most of I mean, some of the poems took like 5 seconds to write, but some of them took one of them took like 10 hours.
Yeah.
Then other ones, maybe average, like 20 minutes, and then all the characters, I'm sure. A lot, there's just a lot of time that went into it.
Yeah, we could spend a portion of this interview textually, like talking about poems, important poems, and like parts of them. It would, like,
I would love to.
It would be like spoilers for the game, quote unquote. But like, I mean, to me, the elephant in the room with regards to that is the texture, right? Because I haven't gotten there in the game, but I've, of course, you read the whole texture to me in full.
You're probably one of you, and then I mean, have you heard the whole texture, AJ?
No, I haven't.
But it's probably you, and then that one guy who wrote the really long review.
Really, you think we're the only two?
He got the achievement. Him and AJ are the only ones with the achievement.
Wow. Well, there's a lot to talk about, like texturally. I mean, there's that. We could go into texture.
Let's talk about the text.
Okay, yeah.
Do you wanna like just show off some of the poems in the game?
Ooh, you could do that. If you have poems that like on the top of your mind that you like rock with, that you want to just use as additional material.
Let's start with the texture because it's kind of different than
Texture.
Then I'll sort of like look down the list and think about different poems. So the texture. It's like an epic. It's an epic poem.
Yeah.
About basically this like demigod who comes to Earth, and it's sort of like an imagined world where there is a god, but he didn't know about Earth. And then he saw Earth. He was like, "Whoa, so cool!" And he just wanted to make it perfect. So he has these sort of his subjects are these people called texturers. And they go to empty planets and sort of and so God has sort of seeded a bunch of planets with sort of just very boring people who are very just sort of like NPC Minecraft villager
with
people.
one syllable words or one syllable names.
With one syllable names, yeah, and like that. And then he sends these texturers to the worlds and give them textures while still attempting to keep them living like a perfect sinless existence. And then the texturer comes in, and he does all that, but then he's just so in love with certain bits of Earth he can't keep them out. And you're not supposed to touch Earth. Earth should be on quarantine because of all of like the sinning that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just sets this like spiral of events basically where he summons Bootsy Collins and George Clinton of Parliament, and he summons them directly from Earth, and that causes like a bunch of ripples and unrest, and then he just keeps trying to correct these things, and sort of like the other kind of is it's very like list based, which a lot of the poems in the whole game are very list based. I mean, that's just what I do. I love listing things off. Stream of consciousness lists are so good. Yeah. What do you
I would
think
say
of this?
that
Do you have? Oh, go.
I was gonna say, like, even though I don't think there's specific like topics that you were intentional about writing, um like about specifically, like you had the idea, I need a poem about animals to round this out. I feel like there are themes of the kind of poems that you like to write and kind of topics that you touch on multiple times that makes the poetry collection in a lot of ways a representation of you, and then also like cohesive because it
Yeah.
is very representative of you and the kind of things that you think about in the way that
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah, one theme I sort of noticed emerging was like friendship and sort of familial relationships going awry, particularly via like lack of communication. Oh, it happens with Father Salmon, one of the characters,
Mm-hmm.
the president and the VP.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, just being like being embarrassed of somebody around other people, and feeling bad that you're like not facilitating like a good connection between them because you're so, for whatever reason, you're embarrassed of the other person. That pops up. I mean, social media. Even if I don't talk about like social media in particular, it's all very. I don't know. It's very. I think the poems are very hyper overall. Just like in the sort of like online way.
Yeah. Your poems are absolutely influenced by the language of social media comment sections.
Yes. Well, I mean,
and
and then I've got the one that is like it's a Reddit comment thread.
Yeah.
And I wrote that a year ago, and then we just talked about another. You and I the other day when we were calling, we had like a hour-long discussion on the phone calls. So yeah, I mean, my poems are basically just what I'm, they're a lot, especially before now my poems are much more sort of like language based, just like in playing with language and like the way that most writers do. But when I first started out, they were like maybe more like note sappy, which people don't like that sometimes online. They don't like that. Yeah. I'll tell you what, note sap poem. It's a bad word to some of these literary folk. And now I've actually sort of returned to that. Now that I'm writing another long one, and this one's all about detail. It's about detail and proper nouns. I wrote a really long section where I'm listing off a bunch of as seen on TV products. And just their names. They've got such good names. Those as
Chia Pet.
Chia Pet is in there, yeah. Chia Pet's in there. Snuggie.
Slap Chop.
ShamWow.
No, neither of those.
Flex Seal. Flex Tape.
Flex. One of the Flex products is in there.
Yeah. Fine. Interesting. Oh. Yeah, another thing. I guess I would consider this textual, but I'm kind of on the other side. The text that is the game, the story that's being told. It's very grim. I mean, this is a violent game. You're destroying sheep. I'm curious, the way that my mind goes, I think, like, what's the symbology of this? Like, what's the symbology that you're slaughtering sheep and you're sacrificing the tree? What does it symbolize? Why do you play like an ecological disaster? Like, What are the
Schultz,
inspirations to
do we
that?
want to answer that? Do we have a desire to answer that
I mean,
question directly?
I got a desire to answer that, but I mean, frankly, I'd have to make something up. I mean,
I
right?
think
You know?
I have elements of like parts of a cohesive thing, I would say, but I think
I want to hear what. I'm
Yeah,
curious.
even if it's like
Yeah,
speculative and post. I mean,
yeah,
that's what
I
I
don't.
want to like
Speculative, for
analyze
sure,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the concept of sacrificing a sheep and a tree eating a sheep, I think first and foremost was designed to be ridiculous and surprising.
Yeah.
And I think in that regard, the fact that you have thought about that as a question is merit to that
Yeah,
being at
absolutely.
least somewhat successful. But I think, the sacrifice you make for art, the fact that, you know, this thing that you can see walking around and moving around and has done nothing to wrong you in any way can just be slaughtered. I mean,
Yeah.
vegetarianism in general, I think
Yeah.
is lightly in there. I guess that's where my mind goes. And then there's like vaguely like religious, I would say, undertones.
Yes, the lamb.
Sacrificing sheep specifically has kind of themes in there, and like sheep as a lambs and sheep as like a symbol of like purity with white wool and
Yeah.
it getting like all
The
bloody.
Christ. It actually just occurred to me in one of the volume 2 songs. It's the song that the beer sings. That song goes very occult, and at the end, it's all
Changes tone.
drink me. It's a song about sacrifice, and I'm only now, like, as we're talking about it, realizing how fitting that is. I even sampled are you washed in the blood, a song that goes, are you washed in the blood of the lamb? And then I didn't even really put that together, but that wound up in this game. It's about the sacrifice of the lamb. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Just symbolically, I don't know.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Stay thirsty, my friends. We sampled that too. Yeah, interesting.
That
And so
was
the
good.
beer is almost like a analog for the lambs.
For the blood of Christ.
The blood of Christ. Yeah. I mean, his blood is alcohol. His blood is wine. I mean, there's so much there. Yeah, that's fascinating.
If he died today, I guess Jesus would probably have his blood be PBR. If I had to guess about any.
That's a good line. All right. I mean, I think I got what I wanted out of this. Is there anything else y'all are just wanting to talk about this?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that covers it.
Yeah.
I think we covered pretty much.
This was good.
The whole enchilada.
Yeah. All right.
Yes,
Wonderful.
Thank you for. What is this? This is your inaugural video.
Inaugural meaning what? In this context.
First video on the channel.
No. I mean, we have our videos together, or the one of us reacting to the Post Malone album, and then I did one.
I do not remember. This
What? You don't remember us listening to the Post Malone album, reacting to it?
Which Post Malone album?
It was his
The
new
Bentleys
one.
and Bodegas.
It was from 2024, 2023, something like that.
The car tipped up.
It's him sitting on the edge of a pool. I don't remember the name.
That's
of
the one with the give me something.
Then
Austin.
I can feel.
I actually liked that album. I'm not gonna lie. I was like at a specific time.
Thought it was mid.
I think we both thought it was
Yeah.
mid, but we both thought it would be fun to just react to. Just a fucking Post Malone album.
Well,
I don't know
watch that.
why. That was. He's really popular.
Oh yeah.
He's
We gotta make
number
more
36
YouTube
in the
videos.
world.
Hey, that's the plan. What do you think I'm doing here?
We're
I thought you were
working
making.
on
Now,
that.
I mean, the plan is for you to make more YouTube videos.
Oh.
I want to get in on that.
You're saying you want to
Wanna
make more
be your-
videos?
I want to make you be your Chandler.
Okay.
Chandler.
Yeah.
Beast.
Be a guest anytime on these videos.
Wait,
The-
Chandler to who?
Oh.
To Rock?
Hey, I'm
Shane top to your Anthony, Dia, and Ian.
that's going right over my head. I'm not getting that one. But
Smosh.
I
Steve and
Oh,
Kira
Anthony-
and Link.
Yeah, he like did his. When I was on the Snapchat, Instagram Reels for like a couple months, very low point in my life, I would
Yeah.
watch Anthony Padilla's he would interview like streamers and stuff.
Yeah. His interviews. That's low key
Yeah.
like what I want to. I like this form. I want to interview more people.
Yeah.
I like interviews. That's my favorite. That's
You can
I want to do things like this because like my favorite kind of content to watch and listen to is interviews with artists.
You can interview me as much as you want.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just do like a podcast thing. We can talk about that.
I
We
like
can
the
talk.
interviewee dynamic though. I would do a podcast. Why not?
But you just want to interview each other. That's
We
just
could
what a
interview each
podcast
other.
is.
But we could make it like more strict. We could be more strict about it.
Okay. Shoot, I had a point. I was gonna say something and I lost it. But okay. I mean, I think we're straight here.
There were like 3 good songs on that album.
On the Post Malone album?
Yeah.
I think there's like one or two.
They were catchy.
Yeah.
I liked them at the time.
There's Give Me Something I Can
remember.
Feel. That one was pretty yummy. There's the one that samples For Elias. I don't remember.
Yeah. But it's like talking about.
I don't.
I think the part where it samples for Elise is talking about having sex
That's badass.
in a very Post Malone way. So
That's rocking. All right, I'm gonna wrap
I
this
will-
up. Y'all can, we can say like a goodbye, like bye, like to
Right, thank
whoever's
you.
watching.
Please play the. I mean, if,
Thank
I-
you.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're watching this video and you haven't played the game, I mean, play the game. I think one thing. Yeah, I mean, I think the poems are good. I mean, I want to say that. I mean,
I think the game is good.
Game is good. The
the game
poems
is
are good.
I think yeah. But I don't think that I would say I don't think like the I mean, I do think the poems are being helped by the game, but I also I think the poems are good, and you should listen to them.
I think they complement each other.
Yeah, they do complement each other. It's all good. It's all worth checking out, especially if you are watching this and you're at the end of this video. You have to have some kind of interest.
That'd be ridiculous if you.
It'd be ridiculous if you were at this point in the video and you had no interest in the game whatsoever. So just go to Steam. It's $5 and get it. Sheeps.
Get it.
All right.
Email me and I'll send you a code. I don't care.
Okay. Yeah. Like if you're desperate, email this guy. I can link whatever y'all. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Peace out, everyone.
All right. Bye.
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 All right. That's all.
Am I supposed to leave?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Now I'm just gonna cut it off. That's just where I'm gonna.